Hello, fellas.
Morning. Steve?
I feel a little bit intimidated because I watched a video on YouTube of Carter Allen interviewing you guys, the world internationally known famous Carter Allen. And I was like, oh, I get to interview them after watching Carter Allen do it.
Carter Allen, otherwise known as U3.
So you guys haven't really played a show in a long time, have you?
7 years.
Yeah, it's time's ticking. It's time.
And I know that Todd and Jesse have gone through some health issues. You guys both okay now?
Yeah,
Amazingly.
I have an MRI on Tuesday. I get them quarterly until I'm 2 years out. So as far as I know, I'm all right. And if things aren't all right, I'll find that out on Tuesday. But I've been good.
You look good.
Thanks.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, same. I got a clean scan after having to go through radiation treatment this past year. Jesse had surgery. I think we've been able to connect on that, and it's been a ride. Faith definitely shaken, and kind of learning how to get through that, learning how to cope, learning how to be just be a survivor, just keep on keeping on, and getting together and being able to play again is a huge blessing. It's just a huge piece of moving forward and being who we are as people, and happy to be here to talk about it, Steve.
Thanks to you, you're remastering the songs and all the videos you've been posting. I spent a considerable amount of time this week checking out Shake the Faith stuff. I never got to see the band live. I've seen Jesse play in many different bands, but never Shake the Faith because I was living in California. I saw the New Models a long, long time ago.
Yep.
1980.
Would have been a while.
And Todd, I've never seen you play live, but I've talked to you on the phone a lot. So what made you get the process rolling? And I mean, did you start this whole thing about a reunion?
No, I mean we keep in touch with each other. I mean, we're friends. We're compatriots. We wanted, if people will have us play and there's an opportunity. I mean, we've done it in the past. I mean, we went about 10 years the first time. I think we kind of disbanded in around 89 or maybe early 90s, something like that. And it happened to be 99 when Brooks Whalen, our label friend at One Way Productions, decided it was time to finally put out the record that never came out. And Jesse and Brooks got together and put together a show at the Linwood, and that was fantastic. And then that led to a couple of small benefit shows, other things that we did along the way. And then it seems to be, I mean, I think Casey nailed it last night. It seems to be like this 5 to 7 to 10 year thing that comes up, and it just works out. And again, thankfully, gratefully, Jesse and I have made it here. Casey's still willing to have us in a room and play together. So I've been lucky enough over the years to have people send me stuff. I somehow kind of became, we don't know why, but I kind of became the person that was available to do a Facebook page, and the Facebook page has led to people contacting us. And that's led to people sending me some cassettes and videotapes and files and whatnot. And then finally this past year, really, honestly, Steve, I think the cancer thing and the pandemic kind of triggered me into like, okay, there is a library of work here. There's some stuff that people have never seen. Some of it, honestly, some of it Casey and Jesse and I had never seen. We'd never seen some of the video. And it was like, oh, okay, that happened. And so it's just been sort of a natural progression of, all right, this stuff needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be sort of remastered for, modern digital, streaming. And I think that the reunion show just was an organic process. You know what it was? We were going to play the channel 40th anniversary party last year.
Good
Yeah,
catch.
last spring.
Canceled, right? And that was really kind of the inspiration of, geez, maybe there's a chance to play again. And then this little window of the pandemic right now, like you say, people getting vaccinated, people being willing to finally go rock out. I mean, Jesse's been able to do a couple shows with Diablo Gatto. People are excited to see live music. So we said, if we can squeeze it in, let's try. It looks like it's going to hold. It looks like people are excited. There was a good turnout at the Magic Room last night. I saw some video from that, and we're just going with the flow. Really, it's what it's about.
Yeah, a lot of it was we were supposed to do the channel anniversary thing at the Chevalier Theater, which would have been awesome, and COVID put a damper on that. And holy shit, there's a big wasp in here. Todd was going through really brutal radiation treatment, really brutal. And a lot of the thing about, having cancer is everybody says, oh, it's really important, you should have a positive attitude, but nobody really teaches you how to do that. It's kind of like telling an alcoholic, well, it'd be a good idea if you quit drinking, but not showing them how to not drink. And hey, what's up? Whoa, sorry. At any rate, Casey and I got to talking about it and thought it would be really cool for us to have, for Todd to have something that wasn't darkness and having his fucking face radiated and his neck radiated, and help him through a little bit. And yeah, it was COVID. So here we are, and we're going to do this show, and we're not going to suck.
I didn't think that. You guys were a great live band. Some of the live video stuff that I saw was just absolutely fantastic. I wish I would have been able to see the band in their heyday. It's funny because I do remember that when I used to I remember when I used to come to Boston to check out other bands and things. I met Jesse a long time ago, and he was always like, oh, he's hyped up and psyched, and he knew the bands that I had signed to Enigma, the outlets in the neighborhoods. And I remember Jesse from way back when. And
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but
hey, mistakes were made.
That's it. That's right, man. Decisions happen, right?
I know Jesse played in Finger Paint, and Casey was in the New Models. Casey, why don't you tell us how the whole thing came together, going all the way back? How did Shake the Faith actually form in the first place?
So it's a good question. Towards the end of New Models, I was already, everybody could kind of see that was coming to an end. And it was the right time for it to end, and we all ended it on a really good note together. But before we kind of did our last gig, which I think was in 1985, I had already started writing more guitar-based stuff. Had already kind of switched gears, if you will, and there's kind of in a just kind of pushing back on all the synth pop stuff that had been coming through, but guitars were starting to come back a little bit. And so I was writing stuff. And then, Jess, did I talk to you first? Or did
I don't remember. I think, yeah.
I don't remember. Todd probably knows. But
yeah, I had reached out, Casey, through Roger and Archie. Had connected us, and we traded phone numbers, swapped tapes and stuff. And then at the same time, just again, serendipity was unbelievable. Jesse,
You're not who I'm trying to
Finger
catch.
Paint was kind of dissolving, and
What the fuck?
just, crazy. All right, Jess?
Yeah, I'm waving Twizzlers out the window of my car.
that's fun.
trying to, never mind.
So did you guys already, when you guys got together at first and you started playing, did you already have like a base of fans that came out to see you, or did you have to build a whole new fan base?
So we had a pretty good crossover from New Models.
Right.
So that was kind of built in. Jess and Todd both had like some fans around. I would say, you know, we kept a base of New Models fans, but those who wanted to rock, not, you know, kind of that, you know, those folks who are more into dancing.
You're right.
They left. The folks who wanted to, you know, bang their head a little bit stayed. Our first rehearsal, we pretty much knew right off that we clicked, and so it was easy to get going. We were all kind of on the same page, which wasn't necessarily the case at the end of New Models, you know, which is, you know, one of the reasons it was like, hey guys, let's move on. But so we were all on the same page. I had written a demo and recorded it at home on a 4-track cassette and shared it with these guys. So that was some of the basis for the early stuff. And then we just grew stuff out of that. And so, and here we are, you know, however, 35 years later.
You know, Steve, I'll say that when Casey handed his demo off to me, and I had, again, just through serendipity, had just met Jesse, and I needed a place to live. I was in my new digs playing and learning Casey's songs, and Jesse's band Fingerpaint was disbanding. And then we were like, holy shit, you know, this stuff is fucking real. Like, this is the shit. And we knew that Casey, you know, had delivered a monster to us. And so, you know, it was very, very together. No, Casey, it was really together, man. And if you remember, all of the songs on your demo ended up in our early set. I mean, we didn't shelve anything. We just built on all of them. I think four or five of those are literally on the first record, man.
And now that you say it, it was brilliant. I'm brilliant. Everything.
Brilliant.
Was sacrifice on that demo
Let's
or
just
not?
get that out there, Steve, right now.
No,
okay?
so you know what,
So
Steve? Todd is actually right though. And I don't mean to brag, but it was a good demo, right? And it was stuff that had been brewing for like 3 or 4 years. And then, you know, I would, you know, every Friday, I would, you know, I had a gig job. I would leave at noon, come home, and I would record Friday night, and then finish stuff up on Saturday and mix on Sunday. And like, you know, over a course of like probably 12 to 18 months, it put to like 10 or 12 songs on it, and they were pretty good.
Yeah, it was very realized. It was mature. These were not scratch things like, oh, here's an idea. Like, these were, you know, you've heard Already Gone. You know, you've heard Skip on a Record.
Actually plays right before this interview.
That's great. Well, Casey, you know, to this conversation, I mean, those were done. I mean, he edited some lyrics. You know, we tuned harmonies. We worked on Jesse brought the fucking, you know, Jesse brought Jesse. And then they became, you know, rhythmic reality. Casey did everything at home on a home studio with a drum machine and his guitar and synth and a microphone. It was incredible. It was really, really well done. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm blessed here. This is like something that doesn't happen to, you know, a 22-year-old kid off the potato truck from Maine. You know, I literally fell into this through, you know, connections and serendipity. And so I looked at it like, you know, this is an incredible opportunity. This is, you know, Casey. I mean, he was already a local hero, and, you know, along with the neighborhood, as you mentioned, along with the neighborhoods and the outlets, you know, I'm playing with like a fan band, you know, one of my favorites. And so I just looked at it like, I'm going to seize this opportunity. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to do my best, you know, effort to make this work. And then, you know, Jesse comes into the fold. The band gets named. We immediately cut a deal with Brooks Whalen, who just heard the demo. I mean, he literally heard the demo and was like, okay, we're going to Normandy Sound. You know, I mean, there's no question about the potential that the band had. And then in one of the first, you know, the early rehearsals, Casey dropped the riff to Wild World on us, and that song, again, to Casey's point, we just clicked. And this song was written in, like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Casey, except for lyrics, we were pretty much done that rehearsal. That song was just there.
Yeah.
And then several other originals started coming out of that, and that process of Casey bringing in riffs and Jesse and I being really comfortable with the direction of stuff, it made, as for a rhythm section, it made our job as a rhythm section just brutally simple. Like, all we had to do was just follow this guy's lead and add some ideas, and next thing you know, we've got 2 sets of original material. It was pretty cool. It was
I must say, you know, listening to your old stuff, you guys are like a powerhouse band. And, you know, I've always thought that Jesse was one of the best drummers to come out of the you know, the New England scene by far. I mean, if you see the guy play, you know he's an animal. And, you know, Casey had already proven himself as a songwriter. So your job was kind of, you know, just kind of to fit in with these 2 guys.
for sure.
What's your take, Jesse, on all this?
I think in some respects, the material on that demo and the stuff we did in the first year of the band is the best, most creative, coolest stuff that we did. Not to dog what we did later, where we became we were always a good live band.
We got pissed off.
Well, you know what? The Cult came through town on the Love Tour at the Orpheum, and that was a game changer for everyone. And I'm not saying just Shake the Face, other bands. 2 years later, Guns N' Roses came through town at the Orpheum on Appetite, and and Cult Electric came out, and early Danzig stuff, and that changed everything again, especially with us, the Neighborhoods, even bands like SSD or Gangrene, as they went down a different road of metal, and we went down a road of hard rock, and the Hoods did. But there was something about, you know, now looking back on it 35 years later and on my personal preferences of what we play. And I hadn't really thought about it before, but, you know, that dozen songs, Casey, where your head was at, sort of in bringing guitars away from sort of the synth rock of the new models, but the new models rock too. There was just this, really cool creative thing, and not that I dislike the later material. There's some of it I really love, but that earlier stuff, where also, you know, we were also pissed off about we were chasing that black brass ring, that major label deal that everybody wanted and thought would fix everything. And trying to grab that elusive brass ring that was always this close, but never happened. And Casey, of course, went through that twice with Shake the Faith and New Models. That was a good decade of your life, man.
Down the drain.
We circled the drain for like,
Toilet
you
bowl.
did for like 10 fucking years. And then a lot of our peers got that deal, and that turned out to be a bad thing. But in going back now in the material that we're doing in the live set now, we just resurrected a song called She's No Sacrifice that I'm sure was on that demo. We dropped that song in '87, haven't played it since then. It's a fucking great song. And by the way, Steve, we owe the outlets royalty money for the outro on it. Absolutely. There's a very Best Friends Eddie style outlets, and every time we hit it playing it, my head explodes, and it's like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever gotten to play in my life.
But if you're gonna steal, you might as well steal from something good. So
Exactly.
Yeah. We owe the Outlets for the outro and the Sex Pistols for the bridge, shamelessly. These aren't bad places to steal from. I guess, you know, my long-winded answer is it always comes down to the song. And those were some great songs. Skip on a Record and Believe in Me are great songs.
Right.
World's a great song.
Right.
So I'm having a lot of fun playing those. And we
That
have
might
a
have been
cover
the
song.
That might have
We
been
have
the
a cover
first
song.
burp.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say that might have been the first burp ever on the Blowing Smoke with Twisted Rico podcast. So thank you for that.
I find that exceptionally hard to believe. But okay.
What have the rehearsals been like for you guys?
They've been
Which
good.
what?
The rehearsals. Yeah, they've been good. You know, the first one, I think we were all pleasantly surprised. Okay, you know, people pretty much remembered the songs, sounded kind of like a band. You know, and then by the third one, you know, we ran the set. It sounded good. It felt pretty right. You know, like we were saying, we're not shooting to kind of be like, okay, hey, let's be like okay for, you know, older guys, you know, who don't always play together.
No.
We're, you know, we compare what we are, how we sound now to how we sounded then. Does it have the same kind of, you know, honesty and energy and stuff? So it's sounding good. And we're like, as Jesse said, we're bringing a new song or two into the mix. And we've got a really cool cover that we've worked up, and probably will have another surprise or two to go with the set when we're down at the Magic Room.
And you're not going to tell us what the cover is now, of course. It's going to be a surprise, right?
Well, yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah.
way.
It's a good strategy.
Let's put it this way. It's one of those covers where when it starts, people are going to go, this sounds familiar. It sounds like, wait a minute, are they fucking doing that? Holy shit. And by the end of it, if we do it right, it's going to be pretty face melting.
We're still not going to say what it is.
No.
So sorry, Steve.
It's okay.
It's an old
I like
song.
surprises.
You know, the other thing about, you know, when you ask how rehearsals are going, all bands have a heartbeat and a place they live groove wise, how bands swing, how they rock, or at least all good bands have a certain pocket of feel in what they do, and Shake the Face absolutely does. And it took me 3 rehearsals to wrap my head back around it, because it is very different than Diablo Gato or the Marvels or the Pug Uglies or Caged Heat, or actually closer to Caged Heat than any of the other bands. There's a certain swagger and swing that this band has to have, and if I'm not nailing it, I can ruin everything.
But you won't.
What?
But you won't. You won't ruin it.
Oh, I'm feeling it now. It took
Yeah.
3 rehearsals to get it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the things I'll speak to on the rehearsal front is that I had no idea, Steve, where I was going to be physically. I mean, you know, to Jesse's point, I'm not making a big deal about this, but the shit I went through last year with the treatment I had was debilitating. It was literally, I literally didn't know what physical, you know, what ground I was starting from. And before I went through radiation and CAN2 surgeries on my neck, I had my left shoulder rebuilt for a rotator cuff that had been torn for years. So I had just finished physical therapy for rotator cuff surgery last spring during the pandemic and all that. Couldn't really get good workouts in, and then cancer diagnosis. So it's been an interesting road to go, oh, this fucking feels really good. This feels right. And to Casey's point, I have been the weak link. I've had to pull myself, and these guys lifting me and pulling me up, and it's going, all right, you got this, we can do this. And the last rehearsal, we really, Casey's point, it's like, it felt great, it feels good. I'm really excited. I wouldn't be driving down from Maine to suck. I mean, I'm not gonna do that. That's just not who we are. It's not what this is about. It's about kicking ass and, being, to Casey's point, being as good or better in a different way than we used to be. And when you see that video, in Carter's interview, the stuff that was shot then, that was early, and the stuff that's going up from the channel in '89, that's the level. That's who we are. That's what we do. And to Jesse's point, he brings it. And the thing I loved about our live show and made me so excited about being in this band was there was always that element of this could go off the rails at any moment. This literally could just, the excitement, the adrenaline of being on stage with these guys and just, live rock and roll, man. And that's what keeps us coming back. That's why we're doing this. So.
Cool.
But I'm trying to get out.
Jesse moved outside for people that can only.
Yeah, you know what? If you guys don't mind, I'm cruising with a whole shitload of hot rod and custom people, and we're about to go. Would you
You can
guys
go.
mind if I got out of here?
No, hey,
Love you,
good to
man.
see you, man. Good to see you, man.
Good seeing you. Are you coming to the show?
I'll try to make it, man. I'll try to make it.
It'd be really good to see you. And
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean, I
don't
would-
come, you'll never know what the cover song we did was, because if anybody does a video of it or anything, I'm going to make sure that you're fucking blocked. You need to be there so I can give you a big, tight bro hug.
Yeah, man. I was hoping that you were going to be in the studio here today with me, man. I was really excited.
You know what? I need to come by New Alliance anyway, and see Alvin. I think we're going to go. Diablo Gatto's going to record there in January or February.
Nice.
So I need to see the new room. And I haven't seen Alvin in ages, or Gail either. So I'll come by. You're
Okay.
there every Saturday?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'll swing by. All right. Thanks, you guys. I'm sorry I got to go, but I got to
Take
go.
care,
Yeah.
Jesse.
Oh,
No problem.
love you, bub.
Bye.
See ya.
Well, Todd, why don't you wrap this up and just give a total full-on plug of the show and everything and tell everybody where it is. Norwood is like a suburb of Boston, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about the show.
Sure. So one of our reunions, actually 10 years ago, almost to the day, November of 2011, was at the Magic Room in Brighton, the old Magic Room. And we're friends with Des, and he's rebuilt a performance space down in Norwood. He found some space through connectivity. He ended up in the same building as the David Bieber Archives, in a place called the Space.
Yeah, the Norwood Space Center.
Space Center. Thank you, Casey. And it's a known, the building itself has other businesses in it, so it's a known entity. And we've watched the progress of the room. It looks great. There's great people running it and running the sound there. So it just was organic, and it just happened. And it's November 5th. It's a Friday. Tickets are available at shakethefaithrocks.com. Our music's going to be up there. Our merch is going to be up there. The date information's up there now, and the ticket link's up there. So shakethefaithrocks.com. Friday, November 5th at the new Magic Room Gallery in Norwood.
Well, thanks.
Oh, yeah. Early, it's an earlier show, right? So I think it's like doors are 7 and Little Billy Lost is opening. So make sure you get down for that. And but yeah, it isn't like we'll be going on at 11 or anything like that. We probably thought, do you even know, is it like 9 kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like, you're right, Case. It's like doors at 7 purposely. The permit, that the room just operates that way anyway, so it's perfect.
Right.
Doors are at 7. They have a noise ordinance in Norwood for this type of event center or something. I think the noise has to end at 11. So
Okay.
we're really doors at 7, probably Little Billy Lost 7:45 or something like that, 7:30, and we're at 9, and we'll go till I fall over. We'll just rock till Todd passes out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like 9:15.
Probably 9:15.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad you
Okay.
guys are doing this show, and good luck, man. Hopefully I can get down there and check it out.
Yeah.
Right on. Hey, Steve,
Wait.
thanks for having us on, man. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Take
Okay,
care.
take care.
Take care, guys.